Come on.
And how's it going, guys? Welcome to the Secrets of Fatherhood vlog and our new series, Fatherly Advice. That's right. We'll begin to start giving advice to fathers out there or men who are gonna become fathers. Some of the mistakes that we've done as fathers long term, and as well as those who are learning how to be a father, for the newborn babies and etc. So today's series or video will be based upon no such thing as a perfect father. Not a perfect father. That's right. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect father. Even if you think he had the greatest father in the world, he could have been the greatest, but he was not perfect whatsoever. We've all made mistakes, and what better way than to talk about them, put it out there, and possibly get some feedback. Let's see where this goes. With that said, today I wanted to focus on at least 4 things that I've noticed through research and some groups I'm in, where as men, as fathers, where we fail or make a lot of mistakes. And we're bound to make mistakes. There's no such thing, once again, as a perfect person. So losing your temper, yelling, cursing, are some of the things that we do as fathers that sometimes we overlook, and you're like, you know what, it's just part of us. And at some point, I get it, everybody cusses at some point, everybody loses it, but it's depending how you use it. Of course, if you're using it towards a child, then obviously that's verbal abuse. But if you're using it as an expression, I get it, we get it as adults, but the children might not see that, and then they might see that as a bad example. Another one is losing your temper. We teach our children that it's cool to lose your temper, and it's kind of hard not to when you've been telling them a bunch of times what to do, and they don't listen, or it's like you don't stop cleaning ever. It just doesn't stop no matter how much you clean, and it can you get overwhelmed at sometimes, and it can happen. And if you're a single parent, you're dealing with everything, so every now and then you'll cuss. And I know there's gonna be some people who are gonna be like, well, I'm not like that, I'm gonna lose my cool. Well, okay, that's what you're great, all right, that's awesome, but there's always areas where everybody can work on. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Now the other one was physical punishment. Seems that there's old school individuals, and then there's people who believe that talking, communicating is the way to go. I believe that talking is the way to go, but there's always a fine limit. Some people call it violent. I was raised with discipline. In the discipline with love. You just don't discipline and never show your child love. And I know that some people will disagree and some people will agree. And it's always up in the air. I know for sure I don't like it. Personally, I don't, and I avoid it 98% of the time. I will avoid it. But there's always that percent where you can only do so much, and the best option is to walk away, honestly. And that's something that you have to learn to do, because if you're a person who can't control your anger, or a person who has a short temper, you will not discipline your child, you will abuse your child. And that's the reason why some people say it's abuse and violent. And I understand that concept, and I can understand the other concept of tradition, culture. Just because you were raised in a different way where you weren't disciplined like that, some other cultures still do that, and people within those cultures are stopping that kind of tradition by saying, no, even though we're part of this culture, we're not going to participate in it. And there's always a change. There's always something that will happen as we mature, as time goes by. The advice that was given to us, to our parents, no longer applies to us, because it's a different world. We live in a digital age. And the advice is totally different. The rules are different. The times, the way everything is different. But to keep in mind with these fatherly advices, the best option to do is Always try to stay cool, calm, and collected as much as you can. Talk to your child. You know, if you feel like you're already kind of, you know, yelling, you know, you already told them a couple of times, walk away, take a breather, meditate, pray, calm yourself down, do what you got to do. And always own up to your mistakes as well. Like if you yelled at them, you snapped at them, I don't know, your mistakes, what you do as a father. Own up to those mistakes, and because they deserve an apology. They're human beings just like you and me, and they deserve an apology. They deserve to know why. And if you let them know, hey, I'm growing just as you are, because that's what I tell my kids. Look, I'm growing just as much as you are. I don't and it's tough when it's tough all around. And there's those of us who don't have a father or never had a father around. You're kind of like in an uncharted waters, and you're swimming like, all right, what do I do? And so that's the reason why you read books and YouTube, stuff like that. There's no excuse for you not to be a better man. There's no excuse for you not to be a better person. I took religion out of this video, so now I'm talking, that's what I did. So there's books, right? And there's YouTube, there's libraries. There's no reason whatsoever for us to not better ourselves as fathers. All right. So with that said, that'll be the first pilot, the first video. Let me know what you think and some things that you want to work on, or things you're breaking as a generational curse. For me, it's... Come on.